Rudd Larsen coming to you from actually southern Nebraska, down by Franklin County in Franklin, Nebraska. Actually, most people don't think of Nebraska having something like that with the shale and stuff. And then right over here actually is the Republican River Valley. Actually, I'm very close to a lot of things going on. This is actually leftover from a ancient sea, and you just don't think of Nebraska being that way. So on this episode of the Dreamcatcher podcast, it's going to be very much like this. It's about new beginnings. It's spring, and a lot of times we don't think that after we get to be adults, that we really don't have new beginnings. You get kind of settled in. You get your job, you go to college, get whatever it is you're looking for, start a family. And then you kind of, after everything, you raise your family or you got, progress in your job, you don't ever see yourself as doing new beginnings. And I'm here to tell you that it's far from the truth because, I started this podcast less than 5 years ago, and that was a new beginning. And I'm 62. Life is full of new beginnings. And if it weren't, we wouldn't have spring just really, really starting to show up here now. Today's like in the 80s, which is awesome. I got my shorts on, so anybody knows that I'm happy on that. And actually in Nebraska, no wind right now, which is unusual, but we do appreciate it. But it is, it is what life's about. It's a renewal. It's actually starting over, learning new things, and that's what keeps you young. And I think maybe that's part of why, because I'm always open for new things like podcasting or who knows, a lot of sports that I didn't do when I was younger. I'm open to doing that. I started the Y, I don't know how many years ago, probably about the same time as I started this podcast. And that's been a lot of new beginnings because I never worked at it when I was younger. But I think a lot of people aren't able to catch their dreams because they have the mindset that they're done. They've done the schooling, they've done the family, they're ready for retirement. And that is one thing. Cheryl and I are at that age where they're basically almost putting it down, forcing it on us. And it's just like, no, I'm not. In fact, there's one company sent Cheryl newsletters on how to slow down for the ending of your life. And not quite worded that way, but that's what they were. And it's just like, so why would I want to, when I've gotten to this point in my life, slow down, be healthy so you can keep doing the stuff. And I'm a very big proponent of staying, active, because I've seen people who aren't active because they don't want to do the new beginnings. Just like, I'm too old to learn how to run. I'm too old to learn how to play, whatever it is, even cornhole. Some people are like, I don't want to learn that. And that is a defeatist attitude, and it's an attitude that ends a lot of times the way people end their life. And you got to keep on. You just got to keep on learning all the time. Go out there and do stuff on the phone like this, and people are like, well, nobody's going to want to see me. It's like, I thought that too, but I really, to the point, I don't really care. And I hope I pray that this reaches the people that do. This goes out to worldwide. That's one thing nice about the internet and everything, social media, is you can go out to the world very easily at very low cost. And almost everybody has a phone. So I'm praying that more and more people just take my lead and start doing these. If nothing else, doing lives or videos or, it's just that. But don't think that you can't do new beginnings. Because life is full of new beginnings. Even to the end, there's always new beginnings because it's just the way life is set up. It's beginnings and endings. That's why we have fall and winter. And winter's a time to rest and get ready for a new beginning. And I think in today's age also that when we're of the grind mentality, especially in the United States, where we don't take time to rest, that we aren't as able to take advantage of the new beginnings because we're so exhausted. It's like, I don't want to do another thing. I am so tired of doing everything. And when you have that, you miss life. You miss what's important in life. And maybe you need to call what you're doing, because there's always things to get rid of. In today's world, they try to keep you busy 24/7, and with everything, the technology, you're able to. But yeah, just new beginnings is how you get your dreams. because it takes, that mindset of a new beginning to get that dream, whatever it is. It's going to be something new because you're probably going to have to get uncomfortable to get that dream. And like I've said in past podcasts, is to get the dream, you probably will have to grow into it so you can keep the dream. And yeah, so many people don't want to do that. They're comfortable. And I think that's one of the worst things you can be, is comfortable. I'm all for luxury and stuff like that, but I think you need to get uncomfortable to truly live a great life. And first time I did these podcasts was very uncomfortable, even if it is recorded. First time I did anything online, I do Facebook Lives. I mean, I'm up to 31,000 followers, approximately 31,000 followers on Facebook, and it just is my normal now. But there's so many of the things that I want to always try, new software, new things that are coming up every day online and social media to reach more people. So, but yeah, it's just new beginnings are a gift, because when you at the end of your life, you have no more new beginnings, and while you're still here, you still have the potential of having new beginnings. So yeah, see if this guy's going to come by on the road here. Nope, he's turning. So far, nobody's come by on the dirt road. Don't have to worry about dust. But like I said, I do my podcasts wherever. I thought this was such a neat place with all the background and just to show different side of Nebraska that most people don't see. And there are so many different sides of Nebraska that people don't see. They think it's just flat corn and cattle. And yeah, there are some cattle. There's some cattle. I'm looking right at them. But there's so many other things too. And I also, we have a mindset of what old age looks like, what this looks like. And maybe you need a new beginning on what things look like the state of Nebraska. Maybe you need to go explore and see, like, wow, that wasn't what I thought it was going to be like. But it's a new mindset, new beginning on what you think about that. Because new beginnings can start everywhere. It could be starting a new hobby. It could be starting a podcast. It could be starting so many things. But yeah, with Easter coming up this coming Sunday, and just with I'm looking at trees budding, and a day like this, there's so many new beginnings all around me, and I want you guys to have new beginnings too. Don't get in a rut, because so many people do another week, and they wait for the weekend, and they're dreading Monday, and that is a rut that you don't want to be in. You want new beginnings. And if nothing else, if you can't get out of that for a while, do something a different way. Go on a different route to work. Go, go to the gym after you're done with work, or go before, or like Cheryl and I did the other day when we didn't have power. Do stuff that you used to do. It felt new because we hadn't done it in a long time. Those board games and card games and cribbage, and it was actually refreshing not having electricity and not having the phones and everything. But it felt weird, and it does feel weird when you start new beginnings, because it's like you're not used to that. And yeah, just don't get into, and maybe turn the TV off. That would be a new beginning. I would highly recommend. And I've told you that many times. Cheryl and I have not a new TV because we watch almost no TV. And maybe a new beginning is to start reading books or writing books or whatever. You never, it's limitless on what new beginnings can be. Taking up a Tai Chi class, or yeah, I did that body pump a couple weeks ago with my friend Renee. That was definitely a new beginning, and it was one I felt the next day quite a bit. But it was awesome. It was so much fun. But if you got to take that chance, you got to push yourself, because new beginnings take you pushing yourself, because it's not going to be comfortable. You're not used to doing it. And until you do it, you'll never know if you like it or not. And I find when I do that kind of thing, it's just like, oh, awesome. I love it. And I love new things. Maybe I'm not of the mindset of my typical peer, I would guess. But I know there's other people out there with the same mindset as I have. But yeah, go do running. I never thought I'd run. I never thought I'd do exercises. I never thought I would do any of this stuff. But, who knows what's next? I'm always looking for new beginnings. Like doing this podcast, I'm always looking for new areas. And God told me to go to Franklin in this area today. And I mean, gosh, what a gift. It is so gorgeous that I'm being able to be out here by myself, except for the wildlife and some cattle over there. Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this. And people would say, well, maybe the Rocky Mountains. It's like, yeah, that's pretty nice too, but I have kind of like mini mountains right behind me. And so yeah, it's just make sure you don't get into a rut, because new beginnings equal dreams. Dreams being hot. Dreams, your best life. And yeah, and nope, that guy's going to turn too. Awesome, this has been great. Thank you, God, for turning everybody awake, because it would be pretty dusty here, I think. But yeah, I mean, I've gone on long enough on this, but it is new beginnings. It's spring. Think about, we got that energy of spring, and just carry that through the year. And yeah, it's a little harder in the winter and all that stuff, but you just got to make the mindset it's non-negotiable. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start writing that book. I'm going to start painting. I'm going to start learning how to do whatever it is you always wanted to learn. What were the dreams when you were a kid? Do those dreams. If you still have that in your head, it's not too late. As long as you're still breathing, it's not too late. I mean, it might be, physically, if you aren't, it might be, but you might have to work a little harder to get to that dream. But it's still possible. And I want to have so many people around the world seeing this, catching their dream, and with new beginnings. I want them to ripple out the new beginnings, the vibe, because the vibe of starting something new it's like, oh my gosh, as a kid, starting something new, you couldn't hardly wait. Kind of like the new beginning of like Christmas morning, or the new beginning of getting a bike, the new beginning because you've never ridden a bike before, or, anything, new beginning of having something new in your room. There's so many, if you look at it, there's new beginnings all day long. And I mean, some people, adults, a new beginning of a new phone, because a lot of times you have to learn that new, because they change them quite a lot. And there's always something new, especially in today's world with technology that's changing so quickly. And you want to keep up to date on that. And yeah, people would say, well, Mark, you're not really keeping up to date with AI. And I am. I'm just not utilizing it as much as I think probably people think I should. Because I mean, this person shared the other day what is lacking, and it's lacking humanity. And that was the word I was looking for, why I have not cared for it. I mean, I like the fact that it can help me write copy for this podcast. But I also like the fact that I don't have to use it, because I can write the copy and become the person that writes better copy. So I don't know. It's here to stay, and it is a tool. It's kind of like the phone is a tool. When the phone is abused, it's not good, and when AI is used excessively, I believe it's as detrimental as the phone can be. So, but it'll all evolve. So it's something new beginnings, and there's so many. I mean, I think as a pioneer, relatives, they didn't have near as many new beginnings as we do nowadays. And yeah, it is just something that it is evolving, and I imagine it's only going to get more quickly on new things. So I have a great big truck coming, so I'm going to end the podcast, because I think he's going to do a lot of dust by me. Maybe he's turning too. Yeah, I think he is. Awesome. So yeah, I'll just keep on going here. This has been, this is a busy road normally, and so far I've been getting bypassed. Thank you, God, again. So, but yeah, new beginning might be even rock climbing, like I have, behind me. And who thinks of rock climbing in Nebraska? Most people don't, and I really don't either. But no, I want everybody to catch their dreams. I want everybody to know that they are able to do it. That's one other thing. I think people, they have the mindset they aren't able to do it. And you are able to do anything you want your mind to. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. So on that, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this day. But yeah, it's all the new beginnings this time of year. And it actually all the time of year, but it's accentuated more this time of year. And that's why I think I like spring so well. I like fall too, but spring on a day like this with no wind and nice and sunny, I don't think it gets any better than that. So on that, I hope everybody's having a great day. Have a great Easter weekend. And don't forget to do those new beginnings, because they're there waiting for you for a reason. They are there for a reason. And on that, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Dreamcatcher Podcast, and we'll be talking soon.